You're listening to Roots and Rise with Kels and Madi.
Rooted in wisdom, rising together. Okay, hi.
Hey.
Welcome again from the garage.
At 5 a.m.
Because
I figured it out. Sorry.
this is when we have time.
This is when we have time right now. And you know what? I'm so proud of us because we have truly just been bossing it up and making some really great life choices. And I'm proud of us. I'll be honest. I mean, we did have a conversation yesterday where I was like a little bit overwhelmed and you were like, you definitely need to make room in your life. So like to just be. So I'm working on that. That's the goal. But
I'm going to turn my volume down just a little bit. Mine's really high. Okay.
Is mine?
No, I could just hear you really loud.
That's fair.
And you already have such a perfect voice that
I'm drinking.
I didn't need the extra volume.
I'm drinking black coffee.
Yeah.
All right. We're committed.
We're committed. We're committed. Okay. So first of all, I saw something, Kelsey, on someone else's podcast that I thought was so clever. And then I realized like a lot of podcasts do this, and they intro with something that has to do with their podcast. So like, what's your high low? What's this? Well, like, where did you feel rooted this week? And where did you feel like you didn't quite rise to the occasion?
Okay.
I know. I should have probably prepared you.
No. I'm going to go. One of my favorite things. So side note, I have worked a lot with interview coaching for pageantry. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I always recommend is like the very first thing that comes to your mind. And sometimes that can look a little chaotic for somebody like me. The thing that I felt most rooted in this week is Hunter and I started a practice because, side note, I have started to totally freak out about the end of the world. I have totally been freaking out. Now, let's back up. I'm not talking about the rapture. I'm talking about like
rapture talk.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I do know a person personally that did start selling their belongings for the rapture on Tuesday.
Maybe they can just segue into being a minimalist.
I thought that was a perfect yes.
Yeah.
Make lemons out of lemonade, in my opinion. So anyway, I've been kind of freaking out because my personal belief is that we as Christians have a duty to bring heaven to earth. It is scriptural that technically will not happen. That does not mean that is not a goal, right? That we are to bring peace and to love and to Jesus to every person that we encounter in the form of just really loving our neighbor. That's Maddie and I's kind of general belief system. Mm-hmm. So anyway, when I see the antithesis of that all over the world, it feels very heavy. And Hunter was like, you're deeply empathic, not in like the popular sense of the word. Your like empathetic bone is sometimes a curse.
It's your Achilles heel. You're like allowing the world to seep into you in a way that's not bringing you closer to God, but farther.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I feel very vulnerable, exposed. Yes, all of that. So anyway, all this to say, started crying about it on Friday to Hunter, and he was like, actionable steps. What do we do? Mm-hmm. What do we do about this? He's like, do we need to give all of our money away? Do we need to, like, what do we need to do? He was like, I have an idea. What if we just talked about God together for like 10 to 15 minutes a day once we put the girls down? He was like, even though we, as a married couple, you're supposed to be praying together. Mm-hmm. How many people actually do that, if we're being honest? So he was like, we haven't done that. We have not been doing that. Mm-mm. And he's like, I want to know where you stand on a lot of issues that we haven't discussed. I want to know what God is saying to you. Maybe he's saying stuff to me.
And you're not talking about, wow.
Versus, you know what I mean? This has been the coolest thing in our marriage thus far. We have been talking about things that I never, last night we were reading in James, the night before we were reading in Ecclesiastes, just kind of like randomly finding, and like last night we were reading a verse in James that was saying, live well, live wisely, live humbly. And he asked me, how are you living well, wisely, and humbly? What are examples of that? And I was like, oh, this is so good. I was like,
Wait, I love that. This is inspiring me. Like, I'm going to start this tonight.
you should. I mean, I found
It's nothing but good.
it's nothing but good. And then we ended the night watching Wednesday Addams. Netflix.
Your love language, you're like, oh my gosh.
Gothic, vampiric, like TV show. Don't just know that it's a love affair. But
I love that. Thank you. That actually, I needed to hear that. I think that we definitely have been on different wavelengths with our faith and not just not talking about it. Like I talk about it, but I don't ask him about it.
I mean, it's so common, I think, for women for all of us to really just be moving at our own pace, especially since we have kids. And with men, it makes it easy for us to be like, you can just stay over here.
You got this. You handle it. Go do your thing.
But I think what I realized, like, I came in hot yesterday with Maddie where I was kind of mad at Hunter. If Hunter's listening to this, it was only because I was frustrated with the fact that I'm working so hard right now. And then he was like, I had such a relaxing day. And I was like, but
it was resentment.
It was a little bit of resentment. And then I come home. He makes me laugh probably more than anybody in the world. He knows how to like crash my guard down. And it was really interesting because that was just moments of being able to feel like I can feel this way with you, but we're rooting ourselves in
something bigger,
in God. And so it kind of brings us back to like, what's the point of all this?
I love that.
That was cool. Yeah. And then the part where I really could have, I just feel like I've been hyperfixating on stuff I shouldn't be because there's not a lot I can control in that way. There's a lot that I'm embarrassed about, the fact that I've been sort of digging my head in the sand about things that are happening in the world because I just couldn't deal with the fact that I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, now 2 and 4. And it was just too much for me to process. That's not an excuse. It's just the reality of the situation. And so I started to feel like a call to start educating myself again. And the problem with that call is that it's heavy. It's heavy stuff. And I actually feel like I've devised an ideology of what I feel in the current circumstance of politics and the world and everything. And that is, there is good and evil. There is wrong and right. And right now, yes, there is plenty of time for there to be gray. But then you have like, no, that is truly wrong. And no, you are doing what's right. I might not agree completely, but like it's like the sky is blue and that is right and that is wrong. Like there are things that are essentially, I'm starting to form opinions that are now, I think, based in facts and truth. And but unfortunately it's creating a little bit of a hyperfixation. And one thing I've been reminded of is to pray deeply for those I fear or I disagree with or I think are on the wrong side of history or whatever, to be praying for those people and with those people, and to know that that God loves them just as much as he loves me. And to know that regardless of how wrong or evil or whatever I think somebody is, God still loves them. So I am not to be a judge in this, and in fact should be praying for them. But I can't tell you that that's how it's started, because that's not how it started.
But you know what? That's the whole point of like, where did you not rise? And then how did you rise? Like, Kelsey's really good about going to her people to make sure that like her feelings are
On the right track.
On the right track.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable and open and honest about who you really are and how you really feel and when you're struggling. And it's really powerful to go to people because getting stuck in your own head is dangerous.
Oh, for sure.
And so even though it's where you feel like you needed to rise, I feel like you did. That's pretty cool.
Rooting and rising. Okay, same question for you.
Okay, so I'll start with the rise. Where could I have risen? Because I don't like to end on the parts of me that I want to improve.
Let's not think about that.
I know. Okay, where could I have? Gosh, where could I have risen to? I kind of got mad at the fact that women have to have periods this week because I started my period and I got really resentful. That like
it's like what happened? I mean, they say that Eve is the reason, but I'm like, come on.
I started this spiral of like, wait, why are we called like a baby if it's like I don't feel good, my tummy hurts, like I have my period this week, I don't want to do anything. Like, why is it this badge of honor to be like I can do X, Y, and Z? Like, what has this? I got really mad at society.
I'm gonna be real freaking frank with you.
Yeah.
When I gave birth to both of my children, the pain of labor felt the exact same as my period cramps felt. And that is what blew my mind. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm pushing a human out of my body. And this is the reason why I tried to call an ambulance in New York City. My best friend, Mary Catherine Moore, she and I were living together in New York at the time. And I was like, call an ambulance. And she was like, I am not calling an ambulance to Washington Heights. And I was like, do it. It was very bad.
It's bad.
And I'm like, sorry, but it was equivalent pain.
Like it really does. And I don't know if it's getting worse as I'm getting older and like in my later 30s. Or if I'm just recognizing that like it's okay for me to be like, this sucks. Like, I don't like that I get the night sweats when I'm having a hormonal shift. I don't like that I'm bleeding for a week. I don't like that it hurts. I don't like that I have to do life as if it's normal and no one gives me a break. Like, so I got really resentful about that.
Oh, because
and a little angry.
No, the reason why you're also resentful is because if it were happening to men, the world would shut down.
Yeah, and so I had that feeling too, and I'm like, how come I don't get like a get out of jail free card this week? Like, why can't my life slow down and I just sit here and bleed? But then that was a really good reminder, actually, where I could rise to go, I can give myself grace. I don't need permission from anybody. My body was beautifully designed. There's a reason it's tired this week. It's supposed to rest. Like, chill out, Maddie.
You quite literally are the reason why I am giving myself even an inkling of space in my life, because you are the champion for living well.
Yes.
You are the champion for living well.
And I truly believe it. But that just goes to show I have these barriers in my own head that I'm like, wait, the only person telling me I can't do that is me. So this is misplaced resentment. Just because the world isn't giving me grace, that's not their job. God's giving me grace. Now I need to step up and do the same thing. So I had a lot of rising to do. I was a butt roll. I was in the dryer, rising to the occasion. So learned a lot from that.
That's funny.
The next thing, where I felt
Move your voice closer because I want to hear you.
Where I felt very rooted was I got the chance to really aggressively show love this week, and it got me thinking, and I'll tell you the story of that, like of everyone shows love differently. I think you probably know that the way I show love is like, I would love to guide you with my words of affirmation, words of advice. Like that's just how I love to show words, is just show up for people and just be like, yo, I'm here. I love you. What do we need to do? And I had the opportunity to do that. So rewind. I have always been someone who shows love by my words. I have no problem texting people and telling them what I love about them, pumping them up. But I remember early in my marriage, Andrew had hung out with a group of friends. And it was during a very lonely point in my life. I didn't have a lot of close girlfriends. I'd graduated college and I'd started teaching. And it's kind of hard, like when all your friends move when they're from out of state at college and they move back. And it was just like a weird transition time. And so he knew I was a little bit lonely. And he came home and he was like, hey, I hung out with these people and there was this girl there and I really think you would get along with her. You should reach out to her. I'm like, totally, definitely. So this was in the age of Facebook. Like I think Instagram had just started. So you always just found people and messaged them on Facebook. So I find her, I message her. I'm feeling a little vulnerable, but I'm like, hey, Andrew said that you were just like the sweetest and that we would probably get along really well. I would love to hang out. Okay, just something like that. And she never responded, which was fine. Like, you know, you're like, maybe shouldn't see it, whatever. I kind of went about my day. And then a week later, one of our mutual friends, who's also friends with her, was like, why did Maddie message her? And I was like, excuse me? I was like, Andrew told me I should reach out to her to be friends. He was like, she was like so weirded out and put off and was like, she just wants to make sure I'm not hitting on her husband. And it was like this whole, I was like, wait, what? I was so taken off guard that like I could show someone love and they could vilify me for it. And
Trying to love my enemies right now, but whoever that is.
I know, but also then as an adult woman, I can look now and go, someone's done that to her. Because never in my life, if someone sent me a kind message.
I would literally never think
I would literally, I'd be like, oh my God, that person's so sweet. They like me. But to think that someone's done that to her. In that moment, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No, I actually, I think I started crying and was like, I just wanted a friend. Like, not only did she ghost me, but then she talked about me behind my back and made me look, whatever. But now as an adult woman, I can see like, wow, that's a lot of hurt. To take something that someone said that was kind to you and be able to twist it in your own mind and believe that, like that's painful. So that was the first time I realized that you can show love, and just because that's how you show love, people aren't always going to receive your love. Mm-hmm. And so fast forward, that never stopped me. God fiercely placed something in me that was like, people are going to hate you sometimes no matter what. You can show all, what do you mean?
The peaches. If sometimes you can be the juiciest, most amazing peach in the orchard or whatever it says.
Like, and then
I don't like peaches. I don't want that. And you're like, you're an insane person. I'm allergic
to peaches.
Okay, Conrad from Summer I Turned Pretty. He's like, I'm allergic to peaches. And then there's like this very sensual peach scene.
Oh, gosh.
I love a sensual peach scene, by the way. I love it.
As of now. No, after seeing it.
Call Me By Your Name with Timothy Chalamet. There was I shouldn't even talk about that. That's wildly inappropriate. But the peaches, it always lends itself to sensuality. So
there we go. The peaches. So anyway, fast forward. Andrew and I have a mutual friend who's not a woman, who's a man. And he was kind of struggling and he'd mentioned that. And God really put it on my heart to reach out to him and be like, you need to call me. Like, you need to not be alone right now. You need to talk to me. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And I was like, I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to persist. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to guilt you because I'm not going to be okay until you talk to me. I'm going to make this about me so that you call me. Because I knew that he was struggling and he was alone. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I have had enough people barge in on me when I was struggling and alone to know, even though it's not what I wanted, it's what I needed. Mm-hmm. And I also felt that it was God going, nope, go get in there, Maddie. Go do what you do. Go do what you do. I'm opening the gates. Go be a bull. And so I finally persist, wear him down, talk to him. And I got to show love, show advice, show Grace use experiences from my life to help connect and make him feel less alone. And then I realized too, we were talking about God a lot, and it was a very God-centered relationship, and like kind of how to operate with our issues based in a godly way. And it was such an organic and beautiful friendship because he was also operating out of God's love. So he was able to receive that persistent love without resentment towards me. So then it got me thinking, and I was like, when people are aligned with God's grace and love, we're more able to not only give, but receive each other's love more freely. Even if we have different opinions, different, ideologies, we're able to take down that guard of fear and judgment and receive. So like sometimes receiving love is hard. And we don't ever really acknowledge that. We're always like, you're not giving me the love I need. You're not giving me, but like sometimes we're not receiving it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of blocks in the way.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could go through the whole like childhood trauma that stops us from being able to feel it. We don't have the tools. So many of us don't have the tools. Really, it's to crack open the vulnerability piece of us. I sort of equate it, the metaphor of this, what that I equate it to is a little bit like a polar plunge, where it's like the shock of it sometimes is enough to scare people off.
That is so good. Even like, okay, so I've opened my home for 3 years now to some of my favorite humans in the mornings to work out. And everyone's always like, why don't you charge money? Why don't you charge money? It's weird. Like, especially when I first started, people feel weird. They feel like things need to be transactional with money. I'm like, no, I love you. It fills my cup to give this to you.
Well, and now it's like you're doing the life with the women that are coming to your home. Like the community. It's become a community. Like we are a community, and these women, like, I was texting Morgan a couple days ago. I need to call her actually today because we were talking about Amanda. It was amazing and like an incredible. So Amanda, I'm gonna make you listen to this.
She's a masseuse, and she is
unbelievable.
No, we can't. Well, we can't share her, but we should.
You're not allowed to know anything about her.
She's so good.
She's the greatest human being. Anyway, so Morgan introduced me to her. And I was thinking about how much I love Morgan and how like
Who doesn't? I love her so much.
And I just am like, I'm so thankful. I would never have met her unless it were through this. And now she's like, where are we going on vacation? And like, I think that's so amazing because I'm like, this group of women, like watching you and Courtney be together with Stacy, with Kayla, and I was just like jealous. I love those women so much.
It's true though, like it is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to receive love from people. Like even to come in the beginning when I was hosting, for people to come and not be contributing anything other than themselves felt strange to some people. Like, you're enough. Your presence is enough for me. That's bringing me so much. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard sometimes for even just to give a compliment. Whenever we get one, we're like, oh, no.
It goes back to what you said about that girl who shut you down.
Yeah.
And that girl got hurt, clearly. Something hurt her.
Something hurt her.
When we look at what hurt us, and then that's where God comes in, because if we recognize what hurt us and then we look at it and we go, I forgive you, thing that hurt me, and I'm ready to move on, and I'm ready to be brave, and I'm ready to love with my whole heart, and I'm ready to receive love. And if I run into people that aren't ready for that, then God's going to guide me away and guide me toward the people I'm supposed to be with.
Yes. And I think it comes down to be shifting our perspective to being someone that sees the best in people instead of the worst, no matter how life has jaded us, no matter how trauma has formed us, to really go, this is a person whom God created and sent into my path. There might be bad things that come from them, but I'm going to see the best.
Yeah.
I'm going to see the best, and I'm going to have healthy boundaries.
I love it.
Like, yeah. I don't know. That was
Period.
just very enlightening for me to really go about this week and make sure that I'm receiving love. I don't have an issue with giving love most of the time.
But receiving it.
But receiving it sometimes is uncomfortable for me.
Rooting and rising in the receiving of love. I love that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my advice for this week from what I'm doing myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
So we're going to receive love.
I'm going to receive some love today.
Yeah.
I think. Well, yeah. Thinking about my day. I'm like, yes.
Yes. Okay. Do we have anything else?
No. Hey, we love you.
Oh, love you so much. Go show some love and go receive some love.
Okay, we love you. Bye.